has a name, a common theme in these little mini arcs that we have going here. Are we all ready?
Yes.
I think we should share it at the end, even though when this comes out,
Very
it
much
would
so.
already be on the first episode, so everyone will already know the name. But I like to live in mystery, such as this is the last episode.
That we're recording today.
Woo!
Listen
Nice.
here, I don't need your nonsense talk.
Then what am I
Anyway,
doing
we
here?
named
What do you
this-
expect from me?
You know what you're doing here? You invited yourself. That's what you're doing here.
Oh, right. I didn't forget that.
So anyway, we have named this show Nomads of the Cosmos. But if you listen to this episode, you already know that. One of these days, I'll have a show where I have the name already made. But that's not this one. What is on my computer screen? Oh, it's all the files for the last episode. So anyway, yes. For those who don't know, I'm DPayne. This is on my YouTube channel. We're playing Traveler. Woo! And I am joined by Knight97,
Hello.
Nate,
Hello.
and J to the low, Josh, who is now becoming. This is his second mini arc, or I don't know what I call these series. Just these little mini stories.
I want to be in every single one of them. Dude.
Well, the way it's going, you might be, because I think you.
I'm the only one who has the availability to be like, I can do anything, Dave, as long as it's after 9 p.m.
Yep, and that make sure that I have a time to make sure I finish and go to bed, which doesn't happen. So, anyway, for pretty much we finished character creation. Everyone saw what potentially could have happened to stat reduction and said, that's not for me, brah. So we didn't do any of that. But we did have to figure out the spaceship that you guys would be flying around. We are going to roll quirks. We do know how many quirks we have to roll. But I would like to ask, would anybody want to give a basic overview of your little ship? Hey, Knight, do you want to give an overview of the ship?
I was giving you opportunity and nobody took it.
There is no opportunity. It's called keep it rolling.
I didn't want to just like jump in and hog the show, you know. So we have a Type S Scout, and it's a exploration, survey, and courier ship that has some minor armaments, but mainly thrives on just going fast and getting away from things. And not huge cargo that anybody is aware of, but, you know, we will make it work out. And it's for our designs here, we have a 45-year-old ship that we're going to do some jobs, some dirty work to fund it.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to do your dirty work, DCMA. So we so we're gonna it gets 4 quirks, and so each of us get to roll one. And since Nate already doesn't trust me as an honorable referee, here are my dice. Okay, here they are. Okay, there's no way I'm switching my dice. Okay, they did not switch. If they did, you are totally just look. Here they are. Okay, there's no way I switched the dice. Good thing this is a visual show. This would not work on any of the audio ones. So, we're gonna roll. So pretty much, there's spacecraft quirks depending on the age of your ship. There's a certain amount that we do, and if you guys know this, we're rolling on the trader one because none of these guys have a military ship, and I didn't look into what other meant. So we're just gonna do trader, and like the guy from that Star Wars that everyone likes. So go ahead, everyone, roll your things, and yeah,
I rolled the same one.
To kick things off, I rolled an 11 meaning that our ship is a famous and respected trader with a good reputation, which we will promptly destroy its reputation. Or bank on it.
Boom. Let's
depending.
do it.
I rolled a 9, which means our ship was severely damaged and has minus 10% hull.
And that's why we got it on the cheap. I rolled a 7, which means that we have a DM-1 to all repair attempts.
And I'm just writing all this down. And I rolled a 5. The cargo bay is tainted by chemical spills and leaks. Vulnerable cargoes may be endangered in transit.
And that's how the ship was severely damaged.
Yeah.
Way to roll all odds, guys.
Hey, but
Here, I'll roll
we're...
again. Guess what? I rolled a 9. Do you want to 20?
We're famous and well-respected, so let's go.
Yeah,
Minus all
the
our
only other
problems.
thing is you could upgrade the computer to the next best type for free. But and just writing this
That would've been handy.
down.
Do you have to have a specific goodness, words, come on, skill set to run that computer? Because
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it would just give us more bandwidth available to run software.
Got you.
Yeah, I think pretty much like you would have to pretty much like how anyone uses a computer today. Like multiple people can use the same computer but use it for different like purposes.
Got
Some
you.
people use it to write, some people use it to look at videos on the internet, and some people write code. Other people do I don't know, make online videos. Like us. So I can move this book out of my way. And this whole episode, you know what, it's just really gonna show me how well everything is going to flow. It's one of the things that I'm not sure how well a Traveler system is going to run, because Blades in the Dark, I can only compare it to that at the moment, it was very easy to fill a 2-hour time block. This one, I guess we'll find out. Who knows? Maybe we'll be doing character creation for episode 3. Nah.
Let's go. I'll die within the first 3 minutes. Let's go.
So, I forgot to open up another video episode thing. But anyway, actually, I don't need to open that because there is no reason to do a recap. But the thing is, right now, you guys... Well, first, let me ask. Y'all ready? Y'all ready for this?
Ready enough.
Let's kick our exciters into high gear and let's go. I had a teacher in college who was like, if that doesn't get you excited, your exciter's broken. And I'm like, oh, okay.
I guess my exciter's broken. Whatever.
Yep. Yep, I'm not excited to go to class. But anyway, you guys are on a job, and I have to click this right now. Because guess what? The job did not really go well. So I need to find out, everybody, as this music is very loud in my ears. I need to find out, where is everybody? Pretty much, I need 2 of you guys that would be completing the job. You guys have the item, but you set off security, and someone needs to is theoretically in the ship. While you guys are... Oh, go ahead.
I feel like Ohila is probably the one that's on the ship. Ohila's not so much the one that goes and does the groundwork.
No, Ilse's definitely doing groundwork.
I am very much not a ship person, so...
Okay, cool. This is working exactly how I thought it would in my mind. And no, this has nothing to do with Phasmophobia. It literally was just me asking, who's got the skills to do this? And one person answered. So, at least one person had the answers that I was expecting. So anyway, you guys are on some sort of secret, not secret, sorry. You guys are kind of like in a city of a pretty decent tech level world. You guys were so fast, you guys didn't pay attention. You just knew we had to go here and do a job. AKA, I didn't look up a world name. But we will, if we had to call it, we could call it, cheese. We're not calling it that.
It's cheese, but it's spelled with a Q and an O.
It's called the Swiss Alps. What? Anyway, now, let's be real. If it was, like, actual, like, humans naming everything, it would be called, like, New Delphia, because they are not, like, creative. That's right. They called it New Delphia. But, yeah, there we go. Boom. Title slide.
But new with an N and a U, because we're cool like that.
Yeah, we're sitting there, and, okay, you guys are going to have to, pretty much, as I say your name, feel free to correct me as O'Heal. Am I right with that?
Yeah.
Okay, O'Heal, you see your computer light up as you kind of have connections with Gorudo? What was that? Thumbs up. Okay, and Ilse. Okay, with Ilse, that their stress levels are kind of going through the roof, as pretty much like, I don't know, we're in the future. I imagine you guys have some sort of like way to track each other's health, because that's a future space thing. I don't know if that's an actual computer thing, but I'm adding it to it because I think it's cool. Okay, you traveler nerds, if you have a problem with it, shut up and make your own show. But please finish listening to ours first. So anyway, you see like maybe the alarm that's just like, as you like see like the names on there, as like we look through the computer, as we come out of like a TV screen, and we see Gorda and Ilse running down a hallway, as like these alarms and these klaxons, I don't know if that's the right term, I remember hearing that in a science fiction book, are just going nuts as you guys are making your way down here. You guys pretty much have a cylinder that you stole. Pretty much when you pulled it off, there was some sort of, you thought there was a weight sensor, but unfortunately you didn't realize there was also a heat sensor that that it was, you guys can feel that it's cool to the touch, and so when you pulled it off, the heat sensor realized there's a temperature change, set off alarms, and you can hear charging, like just rumbling, and the marching of like people just charging towards your locations, as like lights are turning red as you run down these metal corridors. You guys, your thing is escape, get to your ship. So you guys also all have communication with each other. You guys have the technology to do that, and so I will ask
neural comms.
Yeah, so what would you yeah, so pretty much yeah, what do you guys plan on doing? It looks like Gordo has the cylinder. Ilse, you how about we'll say this, you guys are able to come into kind of like this center block, and you are able to close the door behind you to lock off like temporarily. So you have a moment to breathe and plan, but what is everyone's plan? And if you are bringing O'Heal into this conversation, he can be there.
Ilse is going to like tap where they need to tap for their neural comms to go, and Ilse is going to say, O'Heal, get that ship ready to go right now.
Already spinning it up.
We are in the weeds. Copy over. We are in the weeds.
She's already
And then,
spinning up. We're ready for you.
Ilse looks at Gerudo and goes, "All right, are you ready for this?" And pulls out a grenade and pops the grenade pin.
Gerudo's just gonna go. O'Heal, what's the secondary route out of here?
And I'll start pulling up maps while I'm also spinning, getting all the other ship stuff ready to go. And
It's not a blow-up grenade. It's a get-us-out-of-trouble grenade.
O'Heal's like, O'Heal's just like still
wait
just
on the
bringing up
grenade.
maps.
It's a smoke
Wait on the
grenade,
grenade.
okay?
Okay, but just
Just
chill
trust
with the
me,
grenade for a
alright?
O'Heal, are there any ventilation ducts, sewage canals, anything like that we can get out of here? Dave, I'm also going to start looking around, trying to see, do I see any kind of vent big enough for us to fit into? Maybe another door or a grate underneath us. Something, some kind of...
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I was bringing up the character sheet so that way I could just know what skills and everything are. Okay, so I'm just gonna say for this, since you guys are under pressure, you guys are gonna have to roll. Okay, it's like if you guys were not being hunted down, you could take your time and easily find stuff like this. Like what you're asking for isn't out of the question. It's just more of the contest of time and as is going on. So. What would you, and like kind of like in most of my games, like we can talk about what you want to roll. So if you have a good suggestion of what you think would work, just remember that you're gonna say like whatever skill, like doesn't have, let's say like just for example, it doesn't have to be this, but like admin, and like you're remembering like studying tables and all that stuff to remember what certain like layouts and like where people would be going for like emergency escape, and then you would use that plus like I don't know, education, your education score or your social, like whether you're like asking people for directions or you're remembering blueprints. So that's kind of how it works. Like whatever your characteristics are, your modifier plus the modifier of your skill, and then you add that to your roll.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that I would have maps available of the area that they were in, available, where I could potentially do something, just use navigation to find additional paths for them to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, you would definitely have it. It's same thing, like how fast are you able to read that information? So.
I think I'm gonna go. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Nate.
Yeah, so I'll be doing some navigation checks to see what other paths I can find available on the maps.
Okay. And what are you gonna add that to?
So that would be my navigation skill, which is a 1, added to the.
You need a characteristic, yeah.
So is it added to a characteristic?
You would roll intellect, I think it is, for that. Let me see. Skills and tasks. We're so good at this, we know everything that we do wrong.
Yeah, please be patient, everybody, because with all the busyness schedule, we forget some of the rules. So,
avoiding getting lost in the thick of a jungle would be like intelligence check. But if you were like planning out a route, that's going to be like education. So you can do either or. Intelligence or education for navigation.
Yeah, I think all your rolls are a characteristic and skill, and that would be your modifier for the roll.
So it'd basically be the dice modifier from both of those, which would be...
Yeah.
So if I go the education route, that would put a +2 there, which would be a total +3, making that an 11.
Okay, and that's the one thing I was trying to find real quick. 8 or higher is what you need to succeed. So yeah, you you're able to see that there's 2 routes. There is definitely one through the ducts that that is kind of down a left hallway that would kind of take you a straight shot right outside. And then there's, if they keep going straight, there is a pretty much a path down there, but sorry, like yeah, even with it, sorry, I'm remembering other things. So in the ducts, there's, because this is a pretty high secure place, it seems like there are sensors and security measures in there that, like, it's not filled with them, but there are places that they would have to be aware of that. Or there's a straight shot, pretty much like a couple turns if they follow this route down hallways. However, it does go past a security checkpoint before leaving.
So pass all of that info on to them, and which way are you guys coming out?
Would I know what security measures are in there, Dave? Would I be able to roll on that?
Yeah.
In the ducts?
See if you can remember.
Let's see. What would I roll on that?
All right, and then while you're looking at
Oh,
that,
could I like roll tactics on that? Military tactics to know like which one might be the better.
Yeah. You can do that. And Nate, what were you planning on rolling to find information out as well?
I was gonna roll recon with my intellect.
Okay, yeah.
So that's a 9 for me.
That's a 9. So judging by the tech level of this thing, they might have. It wouldn't be out of the question for there to be reinforced plates to halt like entry, but then also you have heard rumors that they're, because of like the wildlife that is on Cheese, that there is kind of large wildlife, kind of like rodent size of a normal size. But yeah, they tend to get in, so they do have like, there are rumors of some buildings having weight sensors in some of in strategic points. They wouldn't be all throughout the ductwork, but they would have that located around the ducts.
So Ilse will state those facts to Gerudo and say, I think the best option is straight.
And Gerudo, what did you roll?
I rolled a 4. I got nothing.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, sounds good. Let's go.
And then you just see me like pull out my laser pistol.
You still holding on to the grenade with the other hand?
Well, as soon as we start going, I'm gonna drop the grenade. That's gonna go smoke, and then we're gonna sprint.
All right, so I'm gonna say with all those checks, like, so you guys are going down the main corridors.
Yeah.
All right. It's just in the corner. There's like a TV that like kind of it like shows like, it's one of those like automated things like emergency exit, please head here, as it like shows a map of like not the route that you guys intended to go, of like a safe house, and like you hear banging on the closed door, and it's just like, why is this door locked? And it's just like as like yeah, they're just, it sounds like there's either someone working or shooting or banging. There's commotion happening on the other side, but they are hot on your heels.
All right.
So.
Grenade is dropping as we sprint.
All right. So, while you guys are going down there, Ohio, while you're here, you need to, as you're kind of piping up the engines, you know that you have the coordinates of where you have to go next. And so, pretty much, while this is going on, you're going to need an astrogation check to pretty much plot your course to wherever, to the location that you know of. And then pretty much eventually you're going to have to do a jump check to make sure that you can get into your jump drive.
Well, our first, first most important part of that is actually leaving the atmosphere and getting far enough away from the planet.
Yes, for sure. Like that is also into like you're not going to do a jump from right there, but it's pretty much. But you can start plotting the course and stuff, and getting that locked in while the engine's prepping. I believe. So yeah, do you want to give me an astrogation check to see if you're able to dial this in? While we have Gordo and Ilse just charging down the hallways, just going, and it's just like maybe you turn off like the course and like you hear like a voice that's like, "Do not enter this way. Please take the left-hand turn coming up."
So do we know the distance for this that we're going for this jump?
It is. Shoot. I remember looking this up. Sorry. Where did it go? I was just reading like distances and all that stuff. What page is that on?
So the astrogation skill is on 65, but realistically, I have a fair bit of time to do the course plotting because that's something that we have to be a ways from the planet before we can do that.
Yeah, so it's pretty much let's see. So it's pretty much a standard jump. So oh, cool. I just found the task difficulty thing, where it's not just an 8, so that's just for average. I'm going to say, though, you have done this jump multiple times, so it's a pretty routine one. And it's, I can't find the actual jump distances, but it's within some of where it's, oh, did you post it in the Discord? Oh. Wrong thing.
The full jump travel is on 157.
157? Okay, let's see if I can find it real quick. Oh, wow, I turned almost there. 157, astrogation, yada yada. One Doom 10. Okay. So astrogation check is 1D times 10 minutes. So my brain is getting all confused. So we'll just do that for right now. Keep it rolling, okay? So whatever that one is.
So I passed it with a 8 final. I passed the astrogation, the check, and it's going to be half an hour for getting it fully plotted.
Okay, so yep. So you're working on that, and I will keep track of things. So yeah, it's from there. So you're working on that, or you have the computers plotting that, and yeah. So pretty much this going back to Garuda and Ilse. You guys are just, yeah, you guys are charging down the thing, and let's say pretty much there we go. Yeah, so pretty much you guys turn a corner, and there are 2 guards there. They haven't noticed you yet, but like they're kind of looking in like some of the rooms that are on the side of the hallway, just kind of scanning down, but they haven't noticed you yet. Go ahead. Yeah.
All right.
You tell me what Garuda's doing.
Garuda's gonna run in and just start biting and punching.
How
Alright.
far away am I from them, Dave? Currently?
It's not a super long hallway. It's like a little, like, kind of turn that you're going. So they're about, like, we'll say about 12 feet away. Like,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh,
But
okay. So like I'm pretty close. Gotcha.
yeah, you're pretty close to them.
Yeah, I don't see a
So-
way of us being able to slow down and hide or try to stealth our way through this one. So I'm just gonna continue my momentum and just I'm gonna smack the first one. I'm gonna try to use, if I remember correctly, we can try to use non-lethal here, just to knock somebody out,
Yep. So,
and that
And,
would
like-
be melee unarmed, right?
sounds right. As I
Yeah.
quick go through, it's somewhere in here. Yeah, melee. Yeah. So yeah, but that makes sense. Unarmed.
Yeah, and then
Yes.
so he'll do that, and then I'm gonna pull my stunner, and I'm gonna stun the other one.
All right. So who's going first?
I'll go first.
I have a
Alright.
feeling that Gerudo's going first.
Alright, so unarmed, I have a 1 and strength is 10, so I get another +1. So here we go. Ooh, that makes it 10.
Okay, that's a pass. As you kind of, are you just like kind of sucker punching them, like Superman punching as you're running through, or?
Yep, yeah, so we come running around that corner, and I'm just gonna, like, jump in the air, BAM! Right,
Alright.
like, yeah.
Yeah, you get the one that like pretty much like the one that was covering the one looking into the room, as like he hears like the.
Yep.
And it's like he turns like what, and just like your fist like crunches into the helmet, as like, and he just drops to the floor, like totally caught unaware. And then Ilse, you come up and
Yeah, so I'm gonna hit them with the stunner, which is a non-lethal weapon, and so my damage is 2d plus 3, but I have to do the hit first, right?
yes.
Do you know what I roll to shoot?
Let's see. I just had combat up. Let's see. I don't think you're aiming. So
I'm also within the 5 meters, so like I'm like 3, or like, what was it? I looked it up. We're 3.6 meters away.
all right. Yep. So yeah. So short range. If the target lies within 1/4 of the weapon's range score, you gain 1+1 dice modifier. And then you'll be short range. So yeah, it's pretty much you roll that. And for ranged attack, it's pretty much 2d gun combat of the appropriate speciality, and then plus dexterity.
Okay, so I'm rolling +3 with my gun, and then you said I get a +1 as well,
Because it's short range.
so I get an actuality of 2 because my dex is -2. So let's go, and that is an 8.
An 8. Yeah, so pretty much like from the hit that Garuda does, dropping the one dude, the other guy's a little bit like is focusing on Garuda, and then like just shy of hitting the mark, as like it kind of reflects off his armor and kind of makes him stumble a little bit because he didn't know you were there, and but he's not out, and what he does is like kind of as he's falling rolls into the room and shuts the door behind him, as you can hear like, yeah, they're in the east corridor, as and they now know where you are. So
Sorry.
no, it's all good. But I'm pretty sure you weren't saying sorry to me, but I'll take it. no one ever tells me sorry when I play these games. They more say, DPayne, how dare you? And I say, I do. But anyway,
Sorry, Payne.
yeah, you should.
How dare your dareness?
I'm just gonna keep running and go, run, LC.
LC just wants to throw a frag grenade at the door, but it will not.
What? I need to... Alright, Josh, I need you to look in the Discord real quick.
Okay.
Because this is something that we kept saying, and this probably will make things... Because I need to know all who is here.
Sure, we can do that. I didn't roll him out, but we can... I would
like,
assume he's on the ship.
If he could also be off work, like, he could be, like, in his own thing, and, like, you guys... Like, it just depends. Like,
No, maybe like I go away for jobs and I come back to him.
Mm-hmm.
I think that works because he's still.
Yeah,
I think he's still working.
Yeah, he might be like you guys. Maybe it's not a good example, but it's the first one that popped in my head where it's like the end of Pirates of the Caribbean where Fishman and I forgot and girl pirate queen now like they can only meet once every couple of years. Yeah, maybe that's what they are. Orlando Bloom and Keira Knightley, right?
Knightley. Yep.
I got there.
Will Turner and Elizabeth.
Yes. So it doesn't have to be that exact situation.
Yeah.
Maybe
But
it's
like
maybe due to your history and stuff. For people who are wondering and don't remember, in character creation, Josh rolled a romantic partner for Ilse, and we
I put a
kind of rolled
on
that.
it.
Yeah, and yeah, so they are married, but maybe he is still in the military track. There it is.
No, he's in the noble track. He's a chief. He's in the admin noble track.
Okay, yeah, so maybe like, yeah, just due to like circumstances, they still meet, but it's maybe not as much as they want, and so we can explore
his
that
intern.
later.
Maybe I wasn't his intern. I was an intern.
So yeah, but no, pretty much that was
pretty
much. Ew, yeah. But it was one of those things I realized that I kept meaning to reconnect with you with. But of like, if he was here, he might have been also helping out with ship stuff. But yeah, but no, that's good. Nothing wrong with that. And Poops McScoops, we aren't going there. So yeah, you guys are keep charging down. And let's see, I am going to roll. I'm gonna roll. Let's see, I'm just gonna roll 1d6, and this is gonna determine like how much time has passed. All right, 6 minutes have passed. So between the start of O'Heal's check, starting the computers running their thing. All right, so yeah, if Knight, if you don't mind just keeping track of that while we keep going, since that's yeah, since we'll be doing that. But anyway, we're gonna go to O'Heal, and as you're powering this up, like you kind of get a ping like from the tower, and just like so Cosmic Wolf, are you preparing for takeoff?
Yeah, Cosmic Wolf is getting ready for a liftoff. I'll give you a call back as soon as I know exactly how long it will be before we're leaving, but expect departure request shortly.
Okay, I just had to ask. Is that the Cosmic Wolf that went and did that trade through Michigan, Space Michigan?
One and the same.
Oh my goodness! And like he just starts going on like, hey, so how did that go? Like, just I read stories all about this and everything. Are you just gonna let him keep talking, or are you gonna try to get him off your back?
Oh,
What are you doing?
I'm 100% making friends with this controller, chatting with him about it, keeping an eye on the the progress of the rest of the crew, and there's nothing like a happy air traffic controller to smooth the departure clearance out.
All right. So yeah, he's just going on with that. Okay, so you guys, so pretty much, Garuda and Ilse, you guys run up and you pretty much come to a crossroads where like, looking at the map and from what you can either look on like whatever technology or stuff, like you're like, okay, down here is the security checkpoint you have to get past, and then it looks like there's another branch off of paths and stuff. So what are you guys planning on? Are you guys gonna keep going down that route, or what?
The security checkpoint, does it look like, is it like a gated off, like they've gated the whole entire thing, or is it just like, metal detectors that don't really have anything, like any real obstruction to them?
So you would have passed through this on your way in, but yeah, it's like, it does have like scanners of like pretty much as people come in and out of this building, but there is like, since it's like the outside, definitely there is like it looks like an office or something that is right there, like for detaining people that aren't supposed to be there, to like holding heavier security guards in theory. But yes, you would have known that it is like definitely a watched, an observed location by human and possibly AI.
So, like, Ilse just pulls out another grenade and just says, "So, Gordo, do you want me to throw it at it?"
Garudo's just, as he's running ahead, he's like, as long as you don't kill anybody again.
And then Ilse just, like, puts it away.
Yeah, I think Garudo's just gonna try to bolt straight through. Listen, there's alarms going off. They know where we're coming.
Yeah, Ilse will do the same.
Yeah, Garudo's just gonna try to run through, and if there's a door or anything in the way, he's just shoulder down and,
Okay, so as you guys run up, you can see that the door is, it looks like this shutter lock thing. I can't think of the name. Pretty much those things that they pull down in front of like convenience stores and like when it's time to close, like the gate or stuff like in the city, to like keep people out from their store. Like that's kind of closing down, and it's slow though, and you can see. Let's see here. You see two guards standing there, kind of just like one is definitely like, come on, as like the gate's slowly going down, and like it's just a straight shot. There's like really nowhere to hide as the other guy's like, oh, they're here, and there's just like the east gate, quick. As you kind of like are running past like potted plants, and like there's like a coffee table with like a few magazines, like a little waiting area for like, and like desk for like a receptionist and stuff as you're running past. What would you like to do?
Yeah, I think Garudo's gonna try to just run. I mean, I'm envisioning, like running and like sliding under the door.
Same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's just gonna, like, he's not even caring. If they can get under that door, it's gonna go up just as slowly as it comes down. He's just gonna try to get through it.
Alright, here, let's do this, high or low?
High.
Okay, that's a 4. So yeah, it's about 3/4 of the way down. So, and it's slowly going. But yeah, that's what your plan is.
That's the plan.
Are you okay? So
how close to the
and-
gate are the guards?
they're only like, they're pretty close. So they're like, one was like definitely checking it, and the other one was standing near him, and like they definitely look like rookies. So it's just
Okay.
like,
I was just making
doing-
sure if they were not like super close to it, I was definitely going to throw my frag grenade and just blow the thing open. But,
Yeah.
we'll try to run and get through
Yeah.
it.
I'm just gonna try to run and like dive underneath it, pretty much.
Okay. So this is gonna be a difficult check because it sounds like you guys aren't. You got to get through the guards and everything. So, but yeah. I think with this.
Difficult makes it a 10 plus.
Yeah, it's a 10 plus. I know that. I have that table up. I was just trying to see. I think if it's just athletics or something like that. Yeah, I guess there's an athletics thing there. So.
Oh,
So
we'll
I'll
see
be
what
rolling
happens.
athletics and I would say dexterity because I'm trying to like just spray it and like dodge underneath there.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'll roll athletics and dexterity. I have a 0 to my athletics, but I have a +2 to my dex. So
Alright.
here we go.
And Elise, are you doing the same thing? Ilse.
Ilse has a 0 to athletics, which is great because I'm not doing a -3. But I think Ilse's going to use her strength because her dex is just jacked squat. So she's just using all of the power in her to run as fast as she possibly can. So
Alright.
we'll see if I get 2 5s or higher. If not, this is going to turn out really bad for these rookies. And, that's an 8.
8. Okay. And
That's 2 better than what I rolled. I rolled a 6.
yeah, so maybe what happens, you guys are running and like you guys didn't check what you guys were doing, and Gorda, you go to slide, and Elise, wow, Ilse, pretty much you are just charging through, and like you're not paying attention, like you trip over Gerudo, and like you guys both like clatter to the floor as the two like people are like and they kind of they pull out like a stun baton, and I don't even know if that's a thing, but I'm pretty sure it exists somewhere.
It's a stunner.
Yeah, a stunner, and yeah, well, it's
What? There is something with melee. What was that called? Let me find it. Sorry.
Yeah, it's all good. I forgot to look this up, but if we go to weapons, it should be
Here it is. It's a stun stick.
Yeah, so they both pull out the stun stick. Wow, there's some fun-looking swords. I don't know where it is. What page is that on?
That's
Oh, I
124.
found it. Yep, I found it. So, yeah, so they're gonna run up, and let's see if they hit. Okay, yeah, so let's see. That was for one. They're both gonna try. Okay, no, well, one definitely failed and missed. Like, so yeah, that was the second one. The second one's going for Ilse. Kind of swings and like maybe just move definitely out of the way real quick. The other one kind of just nicks Gerudo as Ilse was still kind of collapsed onto him. And let's see. It's going to do. Yeah, so it looks like 7 damage.
So I have, I bought some cloth armor.
Alright.
Same.
This has +8 protection. So what? I didn't read how that is supposed to work.
Let's look it up.
I feel like they have to roll higher than 8 to
I
hit.
think so. That sounds about right, but
But I know there's also like way higher plus protection on it, so I don't know what that actually means.
so I try to find armor.
There was one that was like plus 19, so I don't think it actually means you have to roll higher than that to hit I wonder if it reduces that many hit point things.
There we go. Armor. Found it. Scroll a little farther. Alright, so the sound. They have
Armor
all the art
reduces-
for it. Yeah. Okay.
77. Armor reduces the damage sustained in attack by the value of its protection score. An attack with effect
Okay.
6+ always inflicts at least 1 point of damage, regardless of the actual damage roll or the protection score.
Okay, so if you roll more than 8, it reduces 8 from that, and if it rolls less than 8, it automatically is 1.
Okay,
For
yeah, so
Gurmada.
just 1. Yep, just 1 damage, because it was 7.
And that's from your endurance. Or, yeah.
Okay. But yeah, they're doing that, and let's see. And so maybe Greta, you're you take that and you're a little bit stunned you're not like actively stunned, but Elsie, what are you reacting to right now?
Yeah, so Ilse is trying to figure out what she wants to do here because she doesn't want to kill these folk. Yeah, so she's going to use her stunner. We'll do that since I'm so close. I have and we're within like 5 meter range. So I'm going to like grab my stunner, and then the guard that attacked me is going to get an attack of the stunner.
All right.
And let me roll that, and so that's a +2 to it, and that is a 12-14.
Yep, that's definitely a hit.
And then let me look at this again. So that is 2d +3 damage, and so that is 6 damage.
6. Okay. Yeah, these guys, they're not like really. They kind of just more have like the corporate like wear of these guys that you. They're not like the 2 guards that were like checking everything. But he kind of collapses. He's just like and just like kind of locks up and falls to the ground. And at this point, Garuda, you are able to go now. And for anyone that is listening to Traveler right now and is like, that's not how that works, we're keeping it moving right now because this is it's supposed to be fun and cool, okay? We'll get more into the battle specific things when it comes up a little bit later.
Garuda's gonna look at the guy that hit him. It's just gonna go, "Oh, you're gonna regret this," and it's just gonna, bam! He's just gonna go for a punch again.
All right.
And that is 9, 10, 11.
Yeah, now that this was pretty easy since they were pretty close. Probably a little bit more difficult, but anyway, you passed.
Yeah. So then that is 1d damage, I think it is. I think it's just 1d for a melee.
All right.
An unarmed melee.
Mm-hmm.
And that will be 2.
All right, yeah. And so 2, meaning you kick out his 2 legs as he kind of falls to the ground himself. And now pretty much with this exchange, the gate is halfway closed. So, but you guys pretty much can get out.
Yeah. I'm gonna look at Ilse, and I'm just gonna go run and try to take off towards the gate again.
Yeah, and so Ilse is relaying to that we're on our way. We just made it through the gate.
What's your time?
So Dave, how far away are we from the ship?
All right, so it's about you guys pretty much as you exit, like you can see like there's a huge like kind of intergalactic like space like parking lot. Pretty much like you guys aren't in space, but you're like it's pretty much not a hollow pad, but it's like the equivalent of like a space station all there, and it's gonna take you about spaceport. Thank you. Space station is something completely different. It is like kind of a small spaceport that will take you about like if you guys just charge there without getting without any obstacles in the way, it would probably take you about 5 minutes to get there. This whole exchange from here took about 11 minutes.
Okay, so that was a whole extra 11 minutes? Or
that
were
you
11...
guys... No, like, that's pretty much the between you guys getting out. So, like,
okay.
that whole exchange and everything. And since that took a little bit longer to get through, like,
Gotcha.
You can see that there's security, like, kind of... Like, it's not coming out the same exit as you guys, but it's, like... you can kind of see them, like, kind of coming out of, like, maybe a lower level of the spaceport.
Yeah,
But
so...
they're not in your way yet.
So Elsie says, we're 5 minutes out, but I'll let you know if we get into trouble.
Alright.
All right,
So-
we're pretty much ready to take off. As soon as you get here, we can get in the air. And
So...
then O'Heal goes back to chatting with the air traffic controller and says, yeah, we'll probably be taking off here in about 5 minutes or so if you can clear clear some space.
That soon? Oh, wait, hold on. Like, you guys... You guys know it's supposed to be regulation. Like, you guys have to block it in, and it's like the next open block isn't for like the next hour and a half.
Oh, I'm sure we can work something out here.
Yeah, it's called "Give Me a Roll, Sucker." He says that over the comms.
So I'm going to
Don't you
apply
have
a
any
little bit
cinnamon rolls you
of
can give him?
yeah, I'm going to apply some persuasion to this air traffic controller that I've been chatting with so friendly for the last several minutes here. Let's see, that's a 10, 11, 12 on that persuade check total.
Yeah, and he's like,
I mean, this is the Cosmic Wolf. I mean...
yeah, I have a model of it that I 3D printed back in my bunk. Fine, okay.
Just think, you can tell all your buddies that you gave the clearance for us to take off, and it'll be a big thing that you can have super pride in. You'll love it. Your friends will love it.
Okay, fine. Just real quick, I'll if you guys can leave within the next like 10 minutes, I can make sure I just make sure we loop things. But oh man, it's gonna be a great story. But that's all. That's the only time I can give you.
And he'll say, "Hey, Elsie, you got 10 minutes tops. Total. You gotta get your butts over here quick."
We can make that work.
We're gonna keep running.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Meanwhile, I'm starting up all the thrusters, and you really hear the ship powering up at this point.
yeah, you
Dave,
guys.
if we're running through this spaceport, is there anything I can like? I'm thinking like, are there crates that I can be pulling over? Well, first off, Elsie, how close are you to me?
We're right
You should
next.
be right
Like
behind me,
I
right
would
next to each
assume
other?
that we're like tandem.
Okay.
Running.
Because I want to start like seeing if I can like knock stuff over behind me. If there's people chasing us to like slow them down a bit.
Yeah, so there's definitely like kind of mechanics and engineers like kind of working on like miscellaneous spacecraft that like they have their like tool chests like wheeled out and like kind of working on engines, but like as like this unscheduled like rumble of like the impulse engines, I don't know if that's what it would be called in this, but anyway,
Sure.
like the low impulse and just like you guys can feel the ground vibrate, and like this feels like the energy is like in the air is like charged with like this energy as like you get ready. You can feel the Cosmic Wolf getting ready to take off as like everyone's like, what the insert sci-fi curse word.
What the gore?
What the What the Chuck E. Cheese is going on here? What the aggro crack? No, we can't bring the aggro crack this early. But yeah, there's just they go and like there's like what the and they're just like they're kind of quick and they're like kind of scrambling back. But like pretty much at this point, like from behind you guys, there are gunshots and everything. But at this point, they're too far away to make a difference. As you are able to, no obstructions, get into the boat, into the up the cargo thing, lock it in as, just shy of 5 minutes, which the engines are warmed up, and you can. I'm gonna need a pilot check to maneuver out of here because it is a little bit tight.
Let's see. Wow, I like these dice tonight. Let's see, that's a 10, 11, 12.
And you thread the needle. Like, yeah, go ahead.
I haven't even added in the the characteristic score on that yet either.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you're good because it was.
Either way, it's high.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
that air traffic controller is gonna have a great story.
Right.
Yeah, like pretty much like it's one of those things where like it's like there's this like kind of rock like kind of pillar in the middle that like you can see like kind of windows and stuff as they kind of look out in the bay and like you just see like in one thing like this like
the air traffic controller's like they did it. They did it.
And so
as I'm calling in at the cost with the air traffic controller, hey, yeah, thanks for all your help. We're heading spacebound, and tell your friends you saw the Cosmic Wolf, and we'll chat with you later.
And with that, you can
Sorry to get you fired.
So you go and start kind of heading out and everything, and you break you break the atmosphere. My brain can't talk.
Kaboom! It's all broken. It's in shards.
Yes, and as pretty much the planet collapses in on itself as the Cthulhian creature comes out and says, "I'm not done yet." No. But yeah. The problem when you run 32 games and all your characters combine into all. But yeah, you go and you blast off into space as the last thing we see is a satisfied young upstart air traffic control, and it's just like, yeah. As guards come in, it's like, why are you working with them and all this stuff? And it's like, it was the Cosmic Wolf, and he's like, that ship has been out of commission for 40 years. What?
Love it.
And with that,
not anymore. It's not.
and with that, before we end this scene, give me a pretty routine jump check.
All right. So I'll first do the time here, which is going to be it's going to take 10 minutes. So we've got about 13 minutes total left before we actually make our jump here. And let's see. That's a 9, 10, and 11, 12 total on that.
Tonight.
My dice are just like, I like these dice tonight. They're doing nice.
Don't worry. That will change.
I'm sure they will. They didn't do well on the stats, so.
Yep, so.
Just making up for the negatives on decks.
So, yeah, you make your way out, and yeah, you all of a sudden like drift, like you guys see like this bubble of light kind of envelop the ship.
You see,
and,
first you see all the lights dim as the jump drive comes up to full charge, and then a bubble and blackness, and then back to light.
Yeah, as like kind of light, this like short light, and you guys are in a jump.
Nice.
I realize.
All right, the next week of our lives is in this jump. Let's go.
Yeah.
One week of weirdness.
1 week without any connection to the outside world.
Mm-hmm. As I quick look up. I don't think that's what I wanted. Where's the song that we played for the first episode? There we go. So, yeah. So you guys are in the jump, as the players were saying. It's a week of uncontacted, just stuff that isn't happening. Pretty much they are pretty much in a time bubble, traveling large distances away. You guys are pretty much headed back to the contact point. I just saw I got a text message. Was that from one of you guys? Oh, never mind. It's a Discord message. And by Discord, I mean a Twitter message. Sorry, I still have all the adrenaline, and I don't know my own things. But yes, you guys know that you are returning to pretty much your boss, the person who has loaned out this legendary ship on an extreme discount of doing jobs for them. You guys have done a few jobs up to this point that they were not super difficult or anything, but Talia Deltana, Deltana, Talia Deltana, pretty much lives on a kind of low-tech world on purpose, as she kind of watches more of the seedier jobs and stuff, but pretty much this was the most difficult job that you guys had to date, which was kind of stealing the cylinder, which miraculously did not get damaged on the way out, because I didn't think of making you roll damage checks. But once again, as we said, this was just supposed to be a really fun cinematic, and it filled the time that I was hoping it would. So, but yeah, pretty much this planet that you guys are going on, yeah, it is pretty much just goes under the name of wow, I had it here, and then once it went to my mouth, it was like, you thought, didn't you? And so for me, I'm gonna do the thing that all great referees do, and open up a thing called Sci-Fi World Name Generator.
Boom.
Because the first thing that came to my mind was like Rustlow, and I'm like, that's silly. So I want fantasy.
Welcome to the Rust Belt.
We're right next to the Bible Belt. What? It's an actual asteroid belt. These are weird sci-fi one. Oh, here we go. Don John, come on. That doesn't help me either. Let's go here, and then give me sure, this works. Okay. This didn't really work because it's all like weird numbers. Yeah. Okay, you guys are going to Pavo Cloud. Pavo Cloud. It is pretty much a planet that is more of like a technology can't really get too high on there because of this kind of giant, this gas giant that is like kind of like a ring that kind of ruins kind of the more sensitive technology, but it's a good place for off-world like pretty much just on the edge of civilization, where pretty much people wouldn't have to worry about who you are and where you're coming from and stuff. So But yeah, what would you guys like to do in that week? Like, there was a system. I forget what it's. Training.
Yeah, it's a training and skill, but it takes a certain period of weeks and.
8 weeks, but they don't. I was just reading up on that because that's what I was very much planning on doing. So in order to move up a level in a skill, you have to use a training period, which is 8 weeks of training. The weeks don't have to be consecutive, but they have to be able to spend at least 8 hours a day for the full week in order for that training period to count.
Okay.
At the end of that 8 weeks, then they have to succeed an 8+ EDU check for that to pass and get the next skill, the next level in the skill. And if you're trying to go up multiple levels in a regular skill, like let's say you have, you're trying to go up to like +2 in your melee, then you'd have to do, and you're +1, you'd have to do 2 training periods to get up there.
Okay.
So
yeah, you guys can, if you're gonna declare what you're gonna start training, it's gonna be week 1.
Yep. And there's a spot for that. You can see it on your character sheet near the kind of top right corner. There's a study period.
All right. So I am. Ohila's going to be training electronics to round out his full set of shipboard management duties.
Alright.
Excuse me, Garudo's gonna go ahead and start studying some survival. Yeah, he's gonna start studying in survival, just to kind of try to figure out, like, you'd think he'd know how to survive after being basically on the streets for most of his life, but
Okay.
yeah.
And Ilse's gonna work on medic.
Sorry, I'm just. Okay. There was something I thought would be fun to do. It's actually not part of Traveler, but it's part of another sci-fi thing that I just remembered. And I have it here. Let me just find it. I think it's... Is it in here? It is. So... There's a system called Uncharted Worlds. It is I think it's a powered by the apocalypse system game, but they have this fun thing. If I can find it, where it talks about when you guys do what they call it jump travel as well, where there's an extended period of time where characters spend time with each other. As I see if I can find this real quick. But pretty much you roll and I don't like the one I opened up. There we go. Let's see. You roll on this and it's pretty much just, it gives a little scenario of role-playing as you were in the jump. And I thought it might be fun to do right now as I quickly try to find the thing. As I hear my refrigerator going nuts. Did we... Okay, I forgot that song starts off quiet. Let's see. I thought it would have been... Oh, habitation, probably. There we go. This is a pretty interesting system as well, but I like Traveler better, personally. Scroll down. It's not there. Okay, if I can't find this soon... then I'm not going to worry about it. But...
How about we just roll a like
Yeah, it's
one
pretty
or
much
2D times however many hours like connection point, and then we can role play that out.
Yeah, so pretty much it's like learn a secret, or a relationship is strengthened, a relationship isn't like
Gotcha.
it's pretty neat, but as I'm like kind of just seeing if it's in jump travel. So, and this will be the last Starship. Man, I know I read it in here. Now it's just like one of those things that like as I try to find it, it never wants to be found. So, but we can yeah, so, and it doesn't look like there's an index, so I'm not gonna worry about it. But you know what, I still think it'd be fun to do something similar. So how about this, we're gonna roll, how about roll just a flat 2d6. If you guys get 6, and like declare who you want to talk to, and if you guys roll pretty much trying to think, we'll do, trying to remember how 12 divides into 3s, so it would be 4 8 yeah,
12.
so
Yeah.
4 8 12. So if you roll under a 4, you have to like share like some sort of secret about your character that just comes out that like maybe you weren't expecting to share. If you roll a 9 or higher, you guys can bond over something in the past that like you guys just strengthen your relationship. And then if you roll kind of in that middle, it's pretty much you can pretty much, how about, yeah, you can ask a, let's switch that. In the middle, you can bond over something, but then if you roll a 9 or higher, you can ask a question, any kind of question towards that character. So, let's see, Grudo, who would you like to have a talk with?
I think I'll talk with Ilse.
Okay, so roll 2d12, 2d6.
I rolled a 5.
A 5, so you guys get to bond over something.
So, you made it into and through military academy, huh?
Oh, I still can't believe that. Like when I came back from traveling, that like you weren't there anymore, and then they told me that you just kind of like burned out, and like I was shocked because I was expecting you to be the person like giving me orders when we got there. So
Yeah, it was a bit much. Yeah. Well, I'm glad one of us made it through, though.
well, up until stinking. I had to stop my words. Stinking Colonel Cassius pushed me out. Can't believe that.
That's some flarg knuckle right there.
Yeah, all the words I had in my head, I was like, no, I can't say those on the stream. Well, I could, but
And you guys like bond over like the troubles of your military life.
yeah.
Let's see. I almost said Odell. That's not your name. O'Heal.
I'll go chat
Who do
with
you wanna go with?
Gerudo.
All right. Yeah, give it a roll.
And that's an 8.
Hey, same thing. You guys get to bond over something.
Hey, man, I can't believe we managed to hook back up after that deal went south.
Oh, tell me about it. Bro, that guy, Orem Wilm, he still come after you every once in a while?
I haven't heard from him in a long time, but I try to stay away from his neck of the woods.
Dude, I told everybody I could find what he did. I don't think he likes me much.
Well, hopefully we stay away from him.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm definitely fine with staying away from that guy.
I mean, it's not like we're flying around in some legend of a ship or anything. I mean, I'm sure that won't happen. Come back and bite us.
Right. I mean, it's great that we got it for such a deal.
Yeah. The Talia seems to be a pretty alright person there. As long as you don't screw up.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I am glad that we got connected up though. Like, I needed something stable.
Well, as stable as it can be anyway, I guess.
You
Better
gotta
than
have some fun sometimes.
better than the alternative, I guess.
Tell me about it.
Okay, and Godo, who would you like to bond with?
Oh no, it's me now.
Oh no, we skip you. No, you don't get one. No.
I'll bond with O'Heal, and I rolled a 4.
Okay, so you have to share some embarrassing or terrible story or something about yourself that, and it could be anything. Like, it doesn't have to be something we talked about before. It could just be something that comes up. But O'Heal, unfortunately, is in the presence of this word vomit.
Yeah. So Ilse, after one too many lubricants over the jump one evening, begins sharing a story about her and her husband Alistair, and a horrible experience that they had while they were out carousing one evening, where Ilse had drank a little too much, and had just projectile vomited all over some alien dignitary, and in the process of projectile vomiting had also pooped herself while wearing a elegant gown, and with Ilse and O'Heal's bond and connection over some of the battles they had been in, she just really felt comfortable sharing just this horrible thing with O'Heal, and
O'Heal just has this really stiff drink in his hand right now. It's like, these are the reasons why I don't drink, as he takes this big drink of this drink.
And Elsie takes back another one as well. One to forget.
Well, I think we all have some of those.
And who knows, we might learn about some of them.
But not today.
Yes. So, yeah. So, that was fun. So anyway, maybe it's like the day after Ilse goes and pours out her woes to O'Heal, as maybe you come out with a slight headache, or maybe she's just used to this at this point. She's like, the pain means I'm alive. Another alien I get to vom on. Anyway, you can read on the computers is that you are pulling out of pretty much out of jump travel, and as you do, you pull up to Pavo Cloud. There's also a lot of people that come out this far, besides the fact that it's pretty much abandoned, and not a lot of tech can survive on here. This gas ring is a place that a lot of smugglers will use to repower their ship, because I believe, I remember reading correctly, a lot of these ships go near these gas clouds that are in space to charge their pretty much charge their their power sources and stuff.
And we've got a fuel scoop.
Yep, we're going to use the fuel scoop to scoop up hydrogen and process it to fuel.
Yep, so you guys are able to do that, and you guys know there's more, like a calmer place where there's a little bit of a civilization built up that you're able to land in. It's not a fancy spaceport, but it's like pretty much like this dust and like wind they're whipping around, where it seems like they're in this place. It's like where places are built, or like kind of where little civilizations are where the only civilization built on here is in this kind of like eye of the storm that doesn't seem to move. And so you guys are able to land in here. And like the other thing is like why the people go and live in this planet is that there's actually not only things for like the underground trade, but there is a pretty decent mining operation going on here as well that gets a pretty pretty much this metal that it's not rare or anything, but it is highly sought after for its pretty cheap and flexible uses. So, but anyway, you guys pretty much land, and after kind of making sure that everything is locked down and safe, you guys can head over to the normal place to meet Talia, which is pretty much this, like, it's styled like a Western saloon, but instead of like the wooden doors, it's like this kind of light, kind of a light grid that kind of keeps like the dust out and everything, while letting in some natural light. And you kind of head into pretty much the dusty pit, and as we get to new music. So you enter the dusty pit. You guys have been here multiple times. You look at Big Carl, which is actually like this small child that's running the bar, and it's like this little girl. She's like, yeah, she's in the back. As she kind of points to this door, kind of recognizes you guys, and you guys go to your normal meeting place, sit down. Big Carl waddles in, gives you guys some drinks, and pretty much it's just dehydrated water, and pretty much she's like, all right, and walks back out.
Dehydrated water, interesting.
Yeah, it was the first thing that came to my. The first thing that came to my mind was dehydrated milk, and I'm like, I don't even know how that works. But now we have dehydrated water, and it's a thirst quencher that also makes you always want more.
So, dust.
Yeah, it's just like a powder.
Liquid dust.
It's just
we're just taking lines of dehydrated water.
It's just this empty cup, like.
Oh, Nate, that looks great, because when you do your bottle the one way,
Yep.
it disappears. Mm-hmm. Yeah, dehydrated water is just there.
Alright, sorry, I'm just writing this down before I forget. Okay, so you guys sit back there. It is like, to this planet, definitely comfortable seating. But shortly, Talia comes in, who she is like a tall woman, thin frame, definitely kind of like has like her hair tight, like dark hair tied like tight behind her, as she kind of wears more of these like orange and amber colored sorry, not orange, but like brown and amber colored like work clothes and robes, and like kind of that sweep around her body as she kind of sits down and looks over and is like, do you have the package?
Gerudo will reach into his, pouch and pull out the cylinder, set it on the table, say, yes, of
And
course, we have
she
it.
like her like long fingers like wrap around it. Like she's human, she's just kind of like everything is like kind of long on her, and she just like kind of picks it up. She's like, yes, okay, with this we'll be able to have pretty much, in theory, I'm told that we can have recycled water here. We won't have this dehydrated water that Carl keeps sending me. Obviously for a price. You guys did good. Anything that I should know about this job? And just as a reminder for the characters and people who don't know about Traveler, pretty much communication is not instant. These worlds are light years away, and communication is slow, which pretty much like there's an equivalent of like maybe a merchant ship or a space station that would kind of bring mail and send it out. So it takes a while for people to learn stuff. So she wouldn't be able to have heard, like pretty much someone would have to come here in a jump to let them know about anything that would have happened on your last job. But she's asking, like, is there anything we should be worried about?
Gerudo's just gonna look over at Ilse and go, there was a slight snafu, but we got out.
A few ruffled feathers, but nothing that would deter us from another job.
No one was seriously injured.
No one died this time. And then, like,
That's
Ilse
good.
just has, like, a little
Through any
frowny
blood.
face about it.
That's good. It shows that you guys are a little bit better at listening to directions. And O'Hill, nothing wrong on your end?
I did have to use the ship's reputation a little bit, but it's been inactive so long. I think that's the first place we've popped up on anybody's radar officially in a while.
Okay. Well, we'll have to keep an eye on that. She looks, and you see like she's kind of thinking on something. She's like, you guys have done good. This is what, your third-ish job? We won't count that first one. I'm still trying to find out how to convince people to go and visit that resort town after the grenade incident. Anyway.
How was I supposed to know that the frag was in there instead of the laser?
Both. We'll move on. We don't have to look at the past. This is why I'm bringing this up. I could just send you on your normal jobs. We can keep going this. It seems like you guys are really bonded and found your stride, but if you guys are willing to pretty much up your ante, if you're willing to take on a challenge, let's just say I have a job that could possibly wipe out your debt to me.
Gerudo's gonna
Wipe our debt out
gonna go.
completely?
Yes.
I'm in.
Do tell us more.
Okay. As someone sent me something on Google. Oh, it was you. It was Josh sending me something on Traveler Notes. Okay. I was like,
No.
who are sending me stuff on Google Drive? So, like, she, like, kind of pushes her fingertips together and she leans forward and is like, so, have you guys ever heard, as I find the right note here, it's the future. There's tons of terrible notes here. Oh, there it is. Have you guys ever heard of Morspire? That's spelled M-O-R. Morspire.
Can I do a streetwise check to see if I've heard of it in all of my years of
Yeah.
bouncing around? So I'll do streetwise and education.
All right.
7, 8, 9, 10.
It's gonna be a pretty average check. So yeah, you rolled a 10.
Yeah, I got 10.
So yeah, you have heard of this. This is a space station that is kind of far out there. That it's like you guys will be able to get there no problem, but it's like it's kind of isolated. That is there. It is known for its kind of a little bit of luxury, as well as like where some of richer, weller-off people go to relax, but also a place where there's a lot of intergalactic trade. It is kind of between two space sectors and is in like a neutral zone. But I'll also say, what did you roll like all together?
10.
10? Okay. And yeah, it's pretty average. So yeah, that's all I'll give you.
Nice.
So,
Yeah, Gerudo will go. The posh resort space mall.
yes. So anyway, as you know, and I'm pretty sure to explain for the comrades, it is a place of luxury. However, with luxury comes undesirables. And those undesirables, pretty much, they got their hands on something that they shouldn't have. And so, what your mission is, and if you guys choose, if you choose to accept this, I will give you more information, but it is to intercept this package, and I will give you coordinates where it needs to go. But the thing is, this package cannot be harmed. So it cannot have any damage. It cannot have any cracks, breaks, stains, nothing. It has to be pristine. However, if you are interested, then, as I said, I will pull out the contract now, and we can sign it to say, upon completion, the ship is yours. And of course, we can still work together, and I can send you guys jobs if you so wish.
So, what can you tell us about the people that currently have this package that we're recovering it from?
As far as I know, it is some sort of, I don't have the name, but it is some crime syndicate that is there. But they're kind of scattered throughout the known space, but they, let's just say they have a lot of smuggling connections, and I'm not being rude, it's just reality that they tend to deal with higher collateral jobs than you of the Cosmic Wolf have. And so, let me just say, like, it could be the thing that gets you on the market and might get you some more pain, bringing in some cash. But that's the thing. It's pretty much, this is who you have to steal it from. If you want more information, I need you to sign the contract.
Yeah, see, my concern is just how well armed they might be, and all the money in the universe doesn't do us a bit of good if we're all scrubbed.
Oh, well, look, as I'm pretty sure Gorundo would tell you. As I said that, I'm like, I don't even know if is that how I've been saying your name? Anyway. But as Gorundo would tell us, as he would know that, security is high. So, it doesn't mean you can't sneak stuff on there, but if anyone's coming with that isn't part of security there, coming in with any heavy weaponry is immediately going to get stopped and searched, frisked, and detained until proven they are trustworthy. So, if you guys do your job well and not pull too much attention, you guys might be able to sneak this through. But on the space station itself, it's look. Oh yeah. I wouldn't be bringing this job to you if I didn't think you could do it, but you also have to realize, to pay off the rest of your ship, you can either spend the next 5 years doing jobs, or have this all done in one, and the done in one is going to definitely be more risky. How about you, Elsie? What do you think? I didn't see that you were yawning. I'm sorry to bore you.
O'Heel's also gonna be looking to the other two, like, well, what do you guys think? Are you up for some stealth missions here?
Ilse just kind of looks at both Gordo and O'Heel and just goes, I've been there before. I've been a guest there before. We can use some of my connections.
Flashback.
We can use some of my connections to gain access.
I mean, it's not the kind of place I'd normally fit in with, but I'm down for whatever if it gets me out of this debt.
Now, you guys might not enjoy how you have to be there with me, but I can get us passage through.
Yeah,
All right. Well, sounds like we're on board.
Oh, excellent. So, and she kind of produces like this pad, and it kind of gives you like the quick overview, standard contract, like upon completion of the job, upon completion, the ship is yours, and any deviations, depending on what the deviation is, can, upon failure, you are still under contract to pay the job, and then if there's any deviations or anything that changes as the job happens, details can be reworked with Talia. But like this is like kind of standard contracts that you guys have all signed before for other jobs. So yeah, as you all kind of signed this, she's like, okay, so pretty much you're picking up this package called Dust. That is the code name of it. In short, it's attached or inside. This is where the information gets a little iffy, but it's like the way to tell this is that it's in a silver briefcase. It normally comes with a carrier. We have no information on who that carrier is, and so in theory, the carrier should be able to hand it to you, or they might have to come along. But from what I remember, you guys should have an extra bunk in the Cosmic Wolf, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, there's room.
Yes, so that itself shouldn't be a problem. But if the person has to come with you, you have to smuggle them off. You have to make sure that you're not being pretty much caught by anybody. In short, what we have is a contact. Pretty much, this contact, as soon as I find it, there we go. As like she's scrolling through like kind of her pad to like find different things. It is pretty much this person that goes by the code name Sapphire. Apparently they're always wearing something that is close or the hue of sapphire to let our people know. Yes, here's the thing the reason I need you to sign this, because the person you're trying to get this from is a man named Gil Carnvess. GilKarnvess. Gil Carnvess. Anyone that wants to see if they know who this person is can make a roll.
Yeah, I'll roll on that.
Okay.
We'll see how
I'll do-
Garuda's roll goes.
Yeah, this is going to be a very difficult check.
Alright. I'll do streetwise and education.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See if I've learned anything through my contacts and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that's... Nah, I rolled a 7.
Ilse will use her social and her diplomat. So that's a
Okay.
+2 to this roll.
Mm-hmm.
And that's also a 7.
Yeah.
O'Heal rolled a broker plus edu and got an 11 total.
Yeah. just shy. Like, yeah, maybe O'Heal like heard like the name but has no connection with it, and Talia looks at all you and is like, "Don't worry, I totally understand why no one's heard of this person. They are pretty much a crime lord for hire. He's constantly changing his organization. It's the same organization, but it's constantly changing its name. And it seems like it's been able to pretty much call, at least for the moment, like the Moorspire, its base of operations. What we do know about Gil is that he's an extremely violent man, but is also very cunning. Not always a good combo. I will say, if it does so happen that you find him, no one would be upset if he disappears.
That was going to lead me to my second question, Talia. Lethality options.
Pretty much if you can find out anyone that's part of Gil's crew, you can. Sapphire is more of a connection point. They should not be harmed. They're kind of just an informant, but I wouldn't put too much trust in that person.
And the carrier?
The carrier cannot just assume the carrier is part of the product. Okay, I don't know. I don't have the information if the case is DNA coded and can only be unlocked by the carrier, or what. It's just be err on the side of caution.
Lethality red on carrier, yellow on Sapphire, green on all other gang members.
Yes, and let's see if I was just gonna scroll through real quick and see if I could find a fun name generator for the name of the gang. Let's see. Yeah, so they are known as Omega Terra. Terra. that is what they're going by now. And honestly, they pretty
The
much
end of
from,
civilization.
I did not put that together. I just saw two words that I thought were cool. But yes, if they do have the chance to destroy life, they would. They've done it in the past, but Gil himself, if you guys want to lose any qualms about him, he's known for trafficking of substance and human. He is also known for having a hand in causing pretty much multiple war between worlds, and there is a chance that he let out a nanovirus on a unprepared planet, a very low tech thing, just because he was hired. So there will be no tears, and who knows, if you can have proof that you killed Gil, you might be able to get a little bit extra. But remember, the job is get the carrier, get the package, get dust off there, and head to the coordinates that has been given to you. So pretty much once you do that, we would have paid off, and then pretty much let's see, she's like kind of looking through her kind of list again. Excuse me. She's like, I know there's one other thing to tell you, and let's see, here it is. Yeah, so Dash. Where's his last name here? These are very terrible generators. Yeah, Dash Ugg, UG. I think it's pronounced Ugg. Doesn't matter. He, to my knowledge, is a person that is able to a safe contact. He should be located kind of near, probably somewhere. He'll be able to find you shortly after getting there and help you get oriented and kind of get you any information. But yeah, that's pretty much just letting you guys know that Dash Ugg is, if you can find him, he should be able to help you. He's one of my men, and is very trustworthy. But yeah, is there any other questions? All right.
I don't think so.
The
Talia, as always, pleasure.
The last thing, and she turns to Ilse. You can't blow up the space station, okay?
You blow up one space carrier, and everyone thinks that you're just gonna try to destroy everything.
Look, I'm giving you leeway to kill some people, just not everybody, and that would cause... Well, let's just say we all be drinking dehydrated water without a choice if that was the case. If you did that.
And Elsie just winks and says, "Your wish is my command."
I am very confused on your marital status. Anyway, moving forward. If that is the case, we will, you guys can move forward and do that, and yeah, that's, last thing, pretty much, and she, like, kind of looks at, not judgingly, but just like, you may not fit in unless you were serving staff. So, Big Carl has a chest of appropriate clothing for the venue. Don't worry, I won't charge you. Just don't get it too dirty, please.
So my question would be, what is the level of social status necessary to get into this place?
Like you guys, pretty much anyone can get in, but it's like if you're doing trading. But if you want to go into like the more luxury sections, then like what's your like pretty much
Elsie's an 11 social.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Elsie's gonna be able to get in without a problem.
Gerudo's gonna have some issues.
Yeah. So,
Well, no, but that's the whole thing, right? So like Elsie is gonna try to use like Gerudo and Nighthawk as like not her servants, but like the people who
her
are
aides.
yeah.
So.
O'Gil is a 9. It has a decent social background to work with as well.
Yeah.
Perhaps not where it's like easily work around the elite, but easily work as a high level aide.
Yeah.
Gerudo has a 4.
Well, you also
He's
were in
gonna be
prison
of
for a while,
no help
so
there.
that makes sense.
Yeah. So, but that's the thing. Like, this isn't like D&D, Pathfinder, those style games. You guys can go to different parts of the space station when you go in there. Like, you guys don't all have to stick together. Like, there will be parts when you guys should probably be together and probably stuff that wouldn't hurt. But yeah. Until then, Big Carl hands you this chest filled with clothes that would fit all different classes of more Spire. And from there, we'll see y'all next week.
Bye.
Yeah, I don't have my normal like everything is terrible ending, but we'll get there.
Everything's gonna
Close
get
enough.
terrible soon.
Yeah, beware. So, yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. See you guys next week. Peace.
Bye.